Over the years, I've been aware of the cult status of Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and as I would see various new releases for it on DVD and then finally on Blu-ray, I was tempted to give it a shot. However, in the video store I worked in way back when, we had this and Clown House next to each other on the same shelf. Clown House is the Victor Salva film, and ever since his child molestation conviction, the offense of which occurred during the making of Clown House, I swore off his movies entirely. However, my dumb brain forever linked these two movies, and I would always have to look them up to see which one was which. Anyway, that's a lot of words to say that I'm an idiot and I was boycotting the wrong movie. Killer Klowns from Outer Space is from the minds of special effects gurus the Kyoto brothers, probably best known for their work in the Critters franchise, and by all accounts seem like really nice guys, so I feel especially bad mixing those two movies up all these years. Anyway, you can probably guess what the film is about. Go ahead, guess. I'll wait. Yep, you're right. The Outer Space Clowns have arrived in small-town USA to cocoon humanity inside cotton candy light bulbs so they can drink us. I think. I have questions. Did the Outer Space Clowns visit Earth years ago and leave behind everything that makes clowns and circuses what they are? Because these alien clowns use popcorn and balloon animals and just all the tropes you'd expect. Did they see our clowns using these things and then adapt their technology into similar items? I know I'm not supposed to take this movie seriously, but still, it's hard to turn off the logic center of my brain. One character late in the film actually does bring this up, but the conversation goes nowhere. Anyway, it's up to a trio of teens and a pair of ice cream salesmen to save the town from the clown invasion, although they're really just trying to save themselves. Again, I know this is a beloved cult favorite, so it hurts me to say that I just wasn't into it. Now, if I'd seen this when I was 10, oh god, this would be a movie I'd be defending to the death because nostalgia or whatever. But coming into it now, yeah, I don't see it. Don't get me wrong, there's some incredible imagination going on behind the scenes here, and I appreciate the hell out of that part. Some scenes have a low-budget Tim Burton vibe, and the clown masks are really well done, but overall, I think the movie wears out its welcome early, and then doesn't quite know what else to do. It feels like it should be a 30-minute short, tops. Big tops. Second only to the film's amazing style is the performance of John Vernon, who I really hope was a good person in real life, because he is always solid as the shittiest person in any movie he appears in.
Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Holy shit.
And despite his character biting the dust well before the third act rolls around, I really love the bit that happens to his character after he's been killed. It's suitably creepy and might be the single best moment in the entire film.
Don't worry, Dave. All we want to do is kill you.
Arrow Video's Blu-ray release of Killer Klowns from Outer Space is jam-packed with bonus material. First up is an 11-minute interview with members of the Dickies, who performed the film's memorable title track. And I'm not exaggerating about how memorable it is. I've had this song stuck in my head for days now. Next up is a 24-minute look at the Kyoto brothers' early work, including their childhood short films. All three brothers are on hand to walk us through the technique of their younger years, and it's insanely charming. This stuff is ridiculously good for a group of kids to have pulled off. And it's good to hear that their parents supported their hobby. I mean, if I had kids doing this kind of work, I'd make sure they got every chance they needed to run with it. To me, the movie is worth it for this featurette alone, and elsewhere on the disc, you can watch 6 of the films they talk about here in their entirety. There's an 8-minute featurette where Steve Kyoto walks us through their production house, interspersed with behind-the-scenes footage from Killer Klowns. Then there's a collection of interviews with cast and crew from the film, including stars Grant Kramer, Suzanne Snyder, and older interviews from the early 2000s with the Kyoto brothers and members of the crew, with lots of behind-the-scenes footage, including some bits from the film's original deleted opening scene. Suzanne Snyder has some very nice things to say about John Vernon, which is good. I'm glad to hear that, because man, he just relished every mean-spirited thing he ever said in any movie. The extras on the disc just keep going, and the original MGM DVD must have been loaded as well, because there's more than an hour of production footage, outtakes, deleted scenes, and more ported over from that release. It's exhausting, but also good, because a comprehensive release is exactly what the fans deserve for this. It's a great Blu-ray, and while I like the film's style, the performance of John Vernon, and that catchy as hell theme song, I just can't get behind the movie itself. Maybe I'll revisit it in a couple years and see if it hits me like it should, and I can only hope that if the proposed sequel ever gets off the ground, it'll be more to my liking.
I was a little worried about you. I thought the big bad clowns got a hold of you. Over.
Mooney, I want you to listen to me and don't say anything. I want you to call the state police and get help. There are clowns and they are killing people. Over.
Okay, let me get this straight. You say there are clowns and you've seen him. Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Time to take a ride.